When I got into this business, it was shocking to me to find out how many animals died in shelters every year. Everyone loves animals. Nobody's like, I'm okay with the fact that millions of animals die in a shelter every year because nobody wants them. We can do better, and we've done a lot better, and things have changed drastically since I got into the business, but there's still so much room for improvement. Anyone that cares about animals should get involved somehow.
Welcome back. I'm Brandon, the H-Bar Bull, and I do some contract work for the H-Bar Foundation. Today, we welcome Brian and Kimberly from the ResQ Project, along with one of their feline partners, Nala, and her family, Shannon and Pookie. Welcome, everyone.
Hey, thanks for having us. We're excited.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. So, Brian, to start off, can you explain what the ResQ Project is?
Sure, Brandon. First of all, thanks a lot for the opportunity. We're super excited. We've been working hard with our team, and we're really blessed to have Nala here as well, and her family. So let me just tell you what the ResQ Project is. First of all, Kim and I, several years ago, we co-founded a media company, a film company called Conscious Content. We bring awareness and education to topics that we felt most of humanity needed to know. During that process of creating 5 full-length documentaries, we learned a lot while we were on the ground interviewing and researching. And one of those films was ResQ Story, Saving Companion Animals. And what we found out through doing the research and all the interviews is that there are a ton of hardworking people all around the country and around the world trying to save these animals. And the one thing we kept asking ourselves is, why is it that these rescues, they don't have the needed funds they need, especially when there's these giant organizations, animal welfare organizations, that are literally raising billions of dollars? Why is it that these funds aren't available when they're needed? And we were just talking before we started about Hurricane Ian coming through and how real that is. We were able to rescue a cat, and we're really happy to do that, be a part of it, but it's just a small part of this. So what we found out after doing a lot of research is that even though these animal welfare organizations are raising all this money, it's really literally being pulled out of the communities. And what happens is then it goes to their national nonprofit organization. And then those funds are used to raise more funds and to pay huge salaries and whatever else. I mean, you could sort of use your own imagination on that. But the fact is that very little of those funds trickle back into the communities in which they're needed the most. So the ResQ Project was really created to really bring hope to these homeless animals and to all these hardworking people that are out there every day trying to do their best with little or no money. So what we're doing is we're creating a new way to raise funds in a transparent way using Web3 technology on Hedera, and by building a huge community of like-minded people. That's where it really comes together. So with our incredible team of illustrators, 3D artists, game developers, and our partnership with Nala and her family, we couldn't do it really without them because we need the voice to get out there. And Nala was a rescue, and her family members are rescues, and they've done an amazing job of spreading that awareness to their huge fan base. So for us, it was a perfect partnership, and we hope they feel the same. And we're super excited to launch this on Hedera after a lot of hard work. Sitting next to me is Kimberly, and she is the winner of Hedera Female Fund grant. And we're super excited for that. We've used way more than that to create this, and we continue to fund it. But we're excited. We think this is going to be a successful NFT drop. But way beyond that, Kim's going to get into what we've created here. So thanks for the opportunity again, Brandon.
Yeah, again, it's my pleasure. You know, we hear a lot about, in the crypto world and the DLT world, all the bad things that happen, but it can be really used as a force for good. It's a tool just like anything else. So I do want to get to Nala now and get to Nala's family. But before we get into Nala's connection to the ResQ Project, can Shannon or Pookie tell us about one of the most famous cats in the world?
So Nala, she was actually surrendered by her previous owner at a high Q shelter in Los Angeles area. When I found her, it was unintentional. I was just there playing with the cats, but I have to bring her home. And at that time, she was about 4 to 5 months old. I adopted her that day, and I have her for 2 years before I started her Instagram account. And from then, her account keep growing, and it's been 10 years now that we have been on social media with Nala has been on social media. So it's been like a long ride, but we really enjoy doing this because of Nala is from the shelter. One of the main thing that we want to focus on, and we have been focusing on that, is to give back to the community. I just feel like it's a perfect way for us to participate, to tell people about NFTs, not just it has benefit.
Yeah, this is very unique. We've never, raised money in this way before. And, Nala has been sort of our compass on how we should operate our businesses and our lives, really. And we wouldn't be doing her justice if we weren't giving back to cats. And so we find this project extremely important to us. And, these guys did all the hard work. Now, we're going to shift gears soon. Like, it's going to be Nala's turn to start spreading the word and doing, our part. But we're thankful. We're really, really thankful to be part of such a big project like this. It's probably one of our biggest projects, I think, for fundraising. And I think that's very cool. And we're really excited.
Yeah. I still wonder every day if the previous owner knows.
How did Nala find her way into the Guinness Book of Records?
They actually reached out to Nala.
It was super weird, because we used to be obsessed with going to Disneyland. So while we're in these 3-hour lines, Pookie and I would talk about business and how we could do better, what we could do differently, and content ideas. And I remembered Guinness Book of World Records, and I thought, oh my God, that was like the only book I ever read. You couldn't get me to read a book as a kid. Even now, right? Like, I'm obsessed with podcasts. I won't read a book, I thought about them, and then like the next week they emailed.
Yeah, it's like thought become things kind of moment.
So thoughts become things. And so I'm very careful. And I try to be really intentional with it because I'm like, wow, it's powerful, So they reached out and they said, we already, we reached out to Instagram and we verified that you have no bots and, you didn't buy any fake followers.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to put Nala in the book and send her a certificate. And they ended up inviting us to headquarters where they awarded her like this medallion.
Yeah, they make a mini medallion.
A mini one. And she walked office wearing it. And we have some footage of that too, but that was super cool. It was like my dreams are coming true through Nala.
Yeah. Very cool. So how exactly is Nala getting involved with the ResQ Project?
They should get all the credit for all of the amazing parts of it. We have like just a small involvement where it's our family and our we have this platform to spread awareness and education and social good. And so our involvement would probably be more of the educational. How can we spread more awareness about all the great things and how important it is to give back and how important it is to that everyone can do their part even in a small way.
Yeah, one of the things I really like is how their designer team are able to pull a uniqueness of each animal that we have. Mm-hmm. We have 6 cats. Actually, we have 7.
We have 7 in there.
One passed away. But all 7 cats are in there, and then Spencer. And then each of them, they have unique personality. Their team are able to pull their personality and put it into the design of the NFT.
Mm-hmm. Very thoughtful.
Yeah, very thoughtful. Yeah.
Kim, do you want to explain a little bit of how you're going to leverage Nala's fame?
Well, I figured if we did what we did and they did what they did, and we all believe in thoughts become things, I think this project will be pretty successful. But I just wanted to go back just for a second about, conscious content. Brian and I created that back in 2018 with our films and our education, which sprung into this project, the ResQ Project, right? But there, you have to have a need in order to want to fix something, right? So if something's broken in a legacy system, you have to address it. And since we're a Web2 company, we did that. So in the research, and I even put it in some of our notes that, and Nala and Pookie both are massive advocates for this, especially for spay and neuter. And a reason why that is, and Brian can probably get into how our local municipalities are working with it, which is very, very smart, which we didn't know they were doing it until recently. But just for an example, just in 7 years, an unspayed female cat and her offspring has a possibility of bringing in 420,000 kittens. That's 400,000 kittens that need homes, that need money. I mean, animal welfare is $1 billion business, and people love their animals, and they actually love their animals more than they love people a lot of the time, because people can be mean and your animals just want to love you. So knowing that was really important. They were really consistent with their messaging that way. And, you know, we have dogs too. And of course, Spencer is the only dog in the rescue squad, Nala's family. And then of course, our 2 boxer dogs are their security. So we wanted to address animals, the dogs as well. And so one unspayed female and her offspring over those 7 years too can produce almost 100,000 puppies.
Wow.
So 97,000 puppies is how they figured it out. And the biggest thing is we happen to live in the state of Florida where we still have kill shelters. And even when something that people don't know a lot of is we want to promote no kill shelters and help them, but they're still not no kill. They still do end up killing animals at a rate of, 1 to 10%, I guess, across the board. So no kill just means that they give it that extra option. It's not the city shelter that will kill them if there's nobody taking them, but they go the extra mile to not have any animals killed. And so in our film, Rescue Story, Saving Companion Animals, we address 4, 5, 6 of those different ways that animals are being saved. So it was really important that, what's the need? The need is that these hundreds of thousands of cats and puppies are going to need to go someplace. And if they don't go someplace, the truth is that they're going to be killed. That's the reality of it. And we do address that in our film in a very, I don't want to say casual way, but in a very tasteful way where people know that if you're not going to pick them up or take care of them, or you opt to go to a breeder every single time instead of into a rescue shelter, breeders are fine and they have their place. But if you don't care and you just want someone to love, a rescue is perfect. And Brian, there's a line from our film that says that they know they've been saved.
Yeah. And there's also another tagline in our film is who's saving who.
Yeah,
and
really
when you save an animal, a lot of times they realize they're being saved. And and they're great animals. They can be great. Rescue animals can also be great service animals. We talk about that in the film. Yeah. We talk about a lot of these things. And Pookie had said, I wonder what Nala's previous owners would think. Well, the fact is they all have value. And just like we all have value. And that's why we want to build a community of like-minded people to remind ourselves there's a lot more about us that's alike, and we can do powerful things together.
Yeah, you asked about our project. So when we were planning for the rescue project, we actually had a lot of criteria that an influencer had to meet. Like if they recall, we had 20 things. We had a wish list, and Nala was the first one to check every single one off the list. And it's not just Nala, it's her family, it's what they're doing, leading by example. What brands have they worked with in the past? Are they consistent in their messaging? Are they doing what they say they're going to do? And they're doing it for all the right reasons, which is magical. And I just think that's amazing. So we're really fortunate to have the world's most followed cat respond to our mission. That in and of itself was a miracle. So we didn't really have to look very hard because we had very specific, we're like, if we can't figure it out, we're not doing it. So if it comes into alignment, that's what we're supposed to do. And they're so busy. They are so busy. Nala's family is so busy. And they just took time out of their day to respond to us almost immediately. And I was like, that is heaven sent. I don't even know if that could be anything more than that, but we're just going to go with it and just know that it's a blessed situation. So the rescue mission was to help companion animals live, their best life in homes where they would be adopted. And, they also have I was speaking about their long history of being a voice for those who don't have one. So we're holding Nala to that standard, really. She's literally has this amazing opportunity globally. through these beautiful collectibles, and they were talking about how much work we put into them. You know, I've seen like people put 10,000 JPEGs, you know, up and then they make money, and that's amazing. And we were actually offered that multiple times during this project. Just, if you guys need money, you want to raise money, just go do that. And we're like, that's not the point. The point is that we want something that has utility. We
Sure.
want something that has a mission, that's connected to a mission. And we also want to change the old broken legacy system where only 7 to 10% of the money goes to the animals.
Mm-hmm.
So we've committed to a much higher, more than double of that, to go to the animals in a specific HBAR wallet where people can look at it anytime and see what we're doing with it. So transparency was massive for us. And you can't really change a broken system unless you dissect what's broken about it and then rebuild it from scratch. So we're not using the old system anymore. We're using a new system. We have a nonprofit that's listed since 1998, Conscious Humanity, the one that actually our nonprofit that got the grant through Hedera. And you know, consistently and over time, people will know that you can take a Web 2 business, connect it into a Web 3 model, and it will change the way that we do business in general and the way that we raise funds. So we hope to be that beacon, like Brian was saying before. And I think it's just really important for people to know that it's possible. So the ResQ Project is showing by design and from the foundation up with HBAR that you can do something good with and give utility, real world utility to non-fungible tokens. And that's really the base of what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, that is probably a good segue into the next question. Why exactly did you choose to build this application, this platform on Hedera?
You want to do that?
Sure. Well, there was multiple reasons. And it was interesting, just like everything else in our life with conscious content, the same things happen with Nala's family too. You put these thoughts out into the universe, you believe in them, and it's amazing what comes back to you. So Hedera reached out to us through a friend, and we started doing research. And, you know, of our 5 films, all of which are in one way or another about humanity or conservation or things like that. And when we started to do research, you know, Hedera is the greenest platform out there. And we've been around crypto a long time. I was an investor in Bitcoin way back in 2012, looking at what blockchain technology could do and transparency and all of that. We looked further into it and we started to see a community. We started to watch the founders and seeing what they're about, and then looked at the governing board that you created, second to none. And I started to think, if we want to plant a seed to grow something big, to replace an old legacy system, which is the way these nonprofits are set up to raise this huge amount of money and very little of it goes to the cause, why wouldn't we plant our flag with an organization like Hedera? So, I mean, in a nutshell, it was a perfect fit.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. So how has your developers' experience been with the integration of your platform into Hedera?
Well, that has been a labor of love, to be honest, because when you're the first to do what you're doing, we've been told by our team multiple times and the HBAR Foundation, you're going to be the first doing a lot of things. So number 1, you need patience. Number 2, don't ever plan on actually launching on time, because that's most likely not going to happen, because we don't have problems or the solutions until we run across them. And we also, this was a massive project for all of us. And we have really big names, including Nala's family and our reputations from Conscious Content and everyone else that's involved with HBAR, that it was really important that we got it right. And I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. None of us can ever guarantee it's technology. We don't ever know. But I can tell you that the foundation of our company is Web 2, which we told you, and the collaboration with the Hedera developers, from taking it from a 2.0 to a 2.25, 2.5, maybe a 3.0 business, was one step at a time. So we literally have code that didn't exist. So we met with so many outside businesses and said, this is what we're looking to do. And not one of them, and there was like 5 or 10 businesses we interviewed, could not do all of it. They just couldn't. They were amazing in what they did, but they just hadn't seen a project like ours before. So our developers with HBAR Foundation, they've helped us create something that will work. So now we have AI randomizers, and we have our own marketplace, and we have a way to mint on demand for massive amounts of NFTs, which most people couldn't handle our launch. So everything is being created from the ground up, but most importantly was the wallet. And that's something that Pookie and Shannon and Brian and we've discussed this. We need to have a way to be able to cross over people who never are not really crypto native to something that is crypto purposeful. I don't know if and so we're working on those infographics, and when the end user is going to see it, because it's going to be really friendly, it'll walk them through. Everybody's used to creating accounts on Amazon, that way you can sign on socially and some other things. We're going to have all of those cool accessibilities. You'll be able to pay with a credit card. People are like, how are you going to do that? Well, we had to have it made,
Sure.
So you'll have a lot of things that are very familiar in our NFT launch. And that is by design, because most of the people that love Nala, they love animals. And even though they had a very successful crypto experience with their other cat coffee, very, very, very successful with Binance, they're familiar, but a lot of the knowledge of a lot of our consumer bases. And so we're going to do what we can and have been very thoughtful, as Pookie and Shannon were speaking about, with every aspect of it. And the team is doing an exceptionally good job in the testing process right now of making sure that it is the crossover is gentle. Let's just say it that way. It's a gentle crossover. There will be a learning curve, but it will be considerably less than it would have been, let's say, last year.
Sure.
And I think that people are going to get their first experience with helping animals and then realize, oh, it's not so scary. Okay, we'll try it. And then when they realize it's the greenest one, they're like, well, that feels really nice. And a bunch of money is going to animals. That's amazing. So, why not? Let that be my first one,
Let me add just really quick. The other thing about Hedera that we really love, and we really learned through this process of sort of tying our dev teams together with Hedera, is security. Security is a big, big factor in crypto. I mentioned I bought Bitcoin back in 2012. I also lost a bunch of crypto along the way.
Happens.
Wallets are really important. That's the important juggernaut here. And being able to have a good on-ramp and an off-ramp that was, like Kim said, was simple and secure. The last thing we wanted is Nala's fans to come in to do a good cause and have any issues with that. So we're super excited. We have a lot of firsts. What's going to, I think, shock Hedera community is that the ResQ Project is going to be by far the largest NFT platform on Hedera, and it will be the largest community on Hedera. So, and you'll probably, I don't want to drop this yet, but there's some secret news that'll be coming in the future. But yeah, you did a great job, Kim, explaining that.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, exciting. Now, that's one thing that I've found in this community, and you kind of touched on this, is that even though we're doing a lot of things that are brand new, there are so many people that are helpful and that are excited about, building in this space, whether it's developers or any other technical-minded people that you need to find help from. I'm building in the space as well, and we're starting to work with a new dev shop. Shout out to Saison, and they're just excited to do it. So if you have any issues, just reach out to the community, and I'm sure you're going to find the help you need.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we're really excited because every NFT, I guess just to kind of segue into like what we're doing in general, is every NFT holder will get access to our rescue story, Saving Companion Animals. It will be part of the real world utility that we're trying to bring in. Plus, we're creating this amazing thing called a super app. We didn't really know. We took everything that we needed or that we wanted, which was 6 pages of notes, and our developers are able to integrate it into one super app. And Pookie and Shannon both, maybe Shannon more, loves like fun games, like super casual games. Mm-hmm. And so you'll see some really cool games that were very popular. We made our own kind of version of it, if you will. And we're really excited to roll that out. It's in development right now. It looks like it's going to launch in January. In December, we'll probably have where Pookie and Shannon will be able to share some of it, because our 3D animal characters will be in there and you'll see them. And they're just so cute. They're just so cute. We have 2D NFTs. We have 3D NFTs. We have NFTs that spin. We have NFTs that move on your screen with your finger. They're very interactive. And then our legendary NFTs, which are a very small selection, of every single Super Squad collection, because we have quite a few. Like Pokemon cards, you can kind of collect them all. We have 10 collections. They're going to be so freaking cute. Seriously, they're just adorable.
It's a ResQ Super Squad Pajama Edition is what's coming out first.
It's the first one. So if you ever remember being a little kid and you're wearing pajamas and you have a little sword and you're like, have a little mask, that was really our inspiration. And when you see them, they're so cute. But everything's launching soon. It's a real thing, real world utility. So we're just putting our money and our time and our art department and all of our beautiful partners, we're putting all of that where our mouth is.
All right, so the next one I have, we're going to shift gears a little bit, is for Shannon Rapuki, and this one's kind of out of some self-interest, but my wife's breaking into the world of Instagram with her account called The Real Bookery, and she's even getting our cat involved, and of course it's a rescue. Aslan, I'll try to get a picture up here, but do you have any suggestions for her or anybody else that's trying to break in and get millions of followers on Instagram or other social media?
I think just be authentic and be yourself, to be honest. People can see, through your messaging and everything. I think one of the reasons we grow Nala to 4.4 million right now is we just being authentic to ourselves and stand by your mission. For us, it's really giving back to the animals. And
also, so on the other side of that coin would be pivoting at all times when Instagram makes changes, algorithms. And so it's about studying, okay, all my videos thrive, so I better start producing more videos, and then content with context, right? Sometimes you might spend an hour on a video and it doesn't get as many views as the real organic, natural video. Like Spencer does a video burying kibble in the cat bed. It does the best. It was just a real moment. And I think real moments really connect with other people, with other pet parents. And then that's when you start to build a community, and people will, and then to Pookie's point, being consistent. So people look forward to your posts. They want more of it. They want to consume all your content. You want people to go down that rabbit hole and just obsess with your cat the way we do. Mm-hmm. And I think it's two parts. It's being genuine and authentic and capturing special moments that will keep your community engaged. And so you can build that community. Being available to your community, responding to your DMs, being very active on there. It's called social media, and people stopped socializing on it. They just started posting and walking away. And so I think engaging with your community, letting them know you're there and you're heard, and then changing when the platforms change.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I'll pass it on to her for sure. Kim, moving on to ResQ Project again, what do you have planned for ResQ in the near future, and how can people get involved?
Well, we have the super app. We have the NFT collections coming. I forgot to say that our development team is our OG game designers, and they've won lots of awards. And the super app, they've made more than 500 games, which is pretty awesome. So they're pretty senior with that. So I think the NFT launch is going to happen in November. We thought it was going to be August, and then technology works at its own pace, not at your pace. So when everything's good to go, it's going to launch, and it's safe for everybody to be able to have access to it. It sounds like it'll be November. We have an unbelievable, unreal trailer that is going to tell the story, and it's going to be like a break. What am I trying to say? It's going to be...
Well, we got inspired by Bored Apes and what they've been able to do, and we were inspired by their trailer. So we went to our people who have got a lot more experience than they did, and we make films for a living. So we decided to make a better trailer than Bored Apes, and that's what we're creating. We have an up-and-coming music artist that has laid a track down for it. We're also, now that we're creating the world, I can't get into that yet, but the ResQ world, the Jeeps that we're creating, things like that, they're going to become NFTs. That's now leading into another game. So the fact that we have these people on our team, and then other people around Hedera have come to us now too, and now are sitting on our advisory board as well, that have a lot of experience with Web3 and NFTs, and the game maker that we're working with for the first set of games. They really understand NFTs and how to use those correctly in games. So there won't be hyperinflation. But we're super excited. This is going to be big.
There's so much to know, and you don't know what you need to learn until all of a sudden you're like, how do you do that? And everyone looks at each other and says, yes, we have to build it. So that's where we're at. So I just think that the NFTs first, our super apps coming next. Oh, our gaming characters are interoperable from multiple chains, which people are like, what? How are you doing that? Being developed. So there's a lot of really cool things. But I guess one last thing that I think you ask everybody is, if you want to pass on any information to anybody, what would that be? I think it's our intention to show the world that NFTs are just not a way to create value for investors, which a lot of speculators are out there. But it's also super important, like we've talked this whole interview, to raise much needed funds for purposeful projects like saving companion animals' lives and all of the other projects that haven't even been discovered yet. It's just a new way for you to raise much needed funds and into a new audience that maybe didn't know about it or maybe wasn't focused on it. And I think it's changing the energy and it's changing the narrative of crypto in general. So we're really excited about it. And purchasing a ResQ NFT will do a lot more than just put a file in your wallet. It'll actually save a life every single time you buy a ResQ NFT. So we just want to thank you all so much.
Yeah, it's so inspirational. I'm going to go around and do a quick round robin to get final thoughts from all of you.
Sure.
We'll start off with Nala's family. Do you have anything else you'd like to pass on to the Hedera community?
For this project, the team, Kim and Brian, they work really hard on this project. I can see the authenticity that coming out from them,
Yeah.
So,
and we have a lot of partners. We partner with a lot of people in a lot of different projects over the past 10 years. And these two have been some of the most hardworking and trustworthy people. But to a fault, so they're so awesome that I won't even look at their email right away because I just know they got this. I'm like, they got this. We just fully trust them, and they are really on brand for Nala. And we hope that their love and passion is known and felt by the Hedera community as well, because they've really been real special to us. So,
and this
awesome.
This is Nala's first project with Hedera, so it's really exciting.
Yeah,
I'm just excited to be a part of the community. So
it's very cool.
Thank you for your support. We really do appreciate it. Brian, do you have any final thoughts?
I just want to well, thank you so much, Shannon and Pookie. We're blessed to have Nala and have that large of a group of like-minded people that understand ResQ and want to help. One thing I want to say is that Kim and I bring a lot of energy. We also bring a lot of business experience to this project. This is not just a startup. We've had years in business and marketing. We have a team. We've learned to surround ourselves with very smart people. We're launching this as a business to create awareness and education and to raise a lot of money for this cause. And we want to invite other people into this project. This is going to be huge, and we're excited to be a part of it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, again, thank you. And Kim, I'll give you the final word.
We've done many, many large projects like films and now an NFT thing. I think having an open mind and being willing to shut everything down if it's broken in your current plan, if it doesn't fit right in your heart. So even if it puts you back a month or two or whatever, do things that are right because they're the right things to do.
Thank you all so much for coming today, and I wish the ResQ Project the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're excited.
We want to create a world where the life of every companion animal matters, every single one.
Time and time again, I've seen these rescue dogs rise to the occasion. You can see that they've decided they need a job and they have a purpose.
If you're seeing them as used or you're seeing them as damaged goods, you gotta look twice, because these animals have so much love to give.
You don't realize how many people you can touch.
These dogs do save human lives.
Who's saving who? When we save an animal, we suddenly find out we're being saved too.
We are there for those animals that need us. We become their family.
Animals don't have to die in shelters.
There is a place for everybody. Nobody's a throwaway.
These animals have come from nothing, but when given an opportunity, they can become your everything.
Every animal has a story, and we're part of that story.